What's up, everybody? Once again, my name is Matt, and welcome back to Let's Play Star Fox 64 3D. In the last episode, we beat Corneria with both the easy and the hard exits. And in this episode, well, we're actually going to travel back down the easy path and take on the next level Meteo. So, what do you say we not waste any more time and just get directly into it?
Impressive, Star Fox. Now watch out for enemies in the asteroid field.
I won't let you down, sir.
Don't worry, General Pepper, we'll be just fine. So here we go, mission number 2, into the asteroid field. Now, don't pay too much attention to that mission counter because it's not always going to be accurate. You can't actually play through every single level in this game on one playthrough. So I'm actually doing 3 consecutive playthroughs of this game just so I can show off all of the planets. So keep that in mind if you ever see like mission 2 or mission 3 more than once in a row. That's just what's happening, is I'm switching save files to, you know, take on a different path, like the hard path, the medium path, or the easy path. Anyways, now that we're actually in the asteroid belt, oh, something I do want to mention before I forget. If you end off a level with the hyper lasers, you carry those through to the next level. So, since I ended off Corneria with the hyper lasers, I get to use them when I start in Meteo. And sorry, Falco, I really didn't mean to shoot you there, but honestly, you shouldn't fly in front of me, dude. Like, I'm the leader of our group. I don't know why you're flying in front of me and stuff like that. And yeah, I agree, Peppy. It is a little too quiet. I do want to talk about some of the changes that they made in this game. Obviously, first and foremost, the graphic overhaul. Everything just looks a lot nicer on the 3DS version, including space, because in the N64 version, whenever you were flying through space, it was just like stars and a black background. There were none of those like green lights that you see. I don't really know how to explain it. I guess you could call them like cosmic lights, yeah, but there were none of those. And believe it or not, let me see if I can actually, never mind, I screwed that up completely. What you're supposed to do there is actually do a loop-de-loop, and you can get all of them, but I'm just bad. But yeah, there were none of those like cosmic lights on the N64 version of this game. And that made, like, seeing enemies in space very, very difficult just because, like, the shadows and how it sort of worked. But it's a lot easier to tell what they are on the 3DS version, which is kind of why I prefer this version. Oh, and hey, check it out. You're about to meet the 5th member of our team, Rob64. Basically, Rob64 pilots the Great Fox while the rest of the Star Fox team is out piloting the R-Wings. And, oh boy, let me get these guys off my tail real quick. That way they don't, like, kill me or shoot me down. But, basically, yeah, when Rob64 contacts you, if you tap the touchscreen or hit the C-stick on the N64, he'll send you a little box. And inside that box, it'll be, like, a laser upgrade, a bomb, and I believe he can also send you repair items should you damage one of your wings, because that is something I did not mention yet. You don't just have like a static shield meter. Your ship can actually take physical damage. Like, if you crash into too much stuff or get shot on one of your wings too much, it will actually just like fall off and completely break. And that'll make maneuvering a little bit more difficult. Like, your ship will lean to whichever side the wing is broken, and it makes flying just a little bit harder. So you kind of want to avoid doing that if you can. But yeah, sometimes, like, if your wing is broken, I believe Rob64 will send out a repair item for you, which is really, really helpful. So honestly, every time Rob64 tries calling you, I would always recommend, like, answering it ASAP. And man, I don't know what's going on right now, but like, I am not doing a good job on this level. These early levels aren't even that hard. Like, I used to be able to go through them without taking like more than 3 hits, but I'm taking a lot of damage for really stupid reasons right now. At least we got our 3rd gold ring, so that'll double our shield gauge, which is incredibly helpful. But I'm gonna try and play better. We're almost at the checkpoint, which is good. Let's get these guys off of Slippy though. Gosh dang it, I missed the checkpoint too. That is... Alright, you know, that honestly doesn't really matter since I should be able to finish off this level without, like, dying. I was more concerned for Slippy's safety anyways. But, yeah, if you do die in this level, the checkpoint, you'll spawn back there, which is helpful. But if you die on Meteo, then you might want to, like, practice a little bit more. Now, those little tiny things that are, like, pulsating in and out, pay attention to those for later on. That's how you actually get the alternate exit for this level. I'm not worried about that right now since I just want to finish this up the normal way. But I will show that off in a little bit. But for now, let's just focus on finishing up this level. We're almost at the end now, and you can probably tell since things are getting really, really hectic. Yeah, that's really, really good advice there, Peppy. Just shoot them. I'm pretty sure that's what I've been doing throughout the entire level. Oh my gosh, I'm just trying to avoid shots now and stay full HP since we're almost at the boss. Actually, I think we might have just made it. It's the calm before the storm. Oh, really? We'll see about that. Alright, Asteroid Destroyer, Meteo Crusher. Let's do this. Don't worry, this boss is actually pretty easy, as are most of the bosses in Star Fox 64. This boss, I believe, actually has 3 different phases. In phase 1, the weak spot is, the little triangle that appears when his, dish moves. Also, you want to avoid shooting the dish, because obviously when you shoot it, it sort of, absorbs your power and then shoots it back at you, although it is pretty easy to avoid. Alright, moving on to phase 2, though. This is probably one of the easiest phases because he can only attack you by, charging up and shooting that giant laser. And if you fly to the left or the right side, he really can't hit you at all. So it's really, really easy to avoid and not take any damage. But his weak spot, obviously, is just the glowing diamond in the center of the ship. But that doesn't really matter because, yeah, we're moving on to phase 3 already. And bosses will often do this in Star Fox 64, whenever their HP gets to about half or maybe 25%, they'll do something strange to stop the fight and sort of fake you out. But trust me, the fight is never over until the HP bar is completely gone. Anyways, in phase 3, all you want to do is wait until the rectangles start glowing and shoot those. And that's pretty much about it. Get wrecked, scrub.
But I'm in a hurry.
And I mean, Fox is right, we kind of are in a hurry. We need to rush our way to Venom, that way we can put a stop to the evil Andross. But, there we go. Mission complete. So obviously the text that appears at the end of a mission will change depending on which ending you get. If you get the easy ending, it'll be mission complete. If you get the harder ending, it'll be mission accomplished. So yeah, that's just sort of a quick and easy way to tell at the end of each level which ending you got, because there are a few levels in this game where you can actually get the harder ending without really trying. Some of the conditions are really easy, so if you are playing along, I guess just keep that in mind so you can figure out where you'll be going next, I guess. Anyways, now that Meteo is done, let's head back to the world map. Of course, we do need to go back to Meteo and get the alternate exit, which is probably one of the harder alternate exits in the game, but we'll get it regardless. Alright, so what do you say we just not waste any more time? We'll just jump directly back into it. So I'll see you guys in a quick second. Alright, so we're back and we're slightly after the checkpoint in this level. And remember those pulsating circular things that I was talking about? Well, to get the alternate exit, what you want to do is actually fly into every single one of them. Now, they make you go progressively faster and faster, so it's really, really hard to maneuver into all of them. And if we can, there we go. Yes, we got the warp. That's actually really, really hard to do. I'm not going to lie. Getting the last 2 or 3 is one of the hardest things to do in this game, at least in my own opinion. Anyways, welcome to hyperspace, guys. I have no idea what the heck the developers were on when they made this section of the game, because it makes no sense. It is the Star Fox equivalent of an acid trip, because really nothing that happens in hyperspace makes any sort of sense. I don't even know what to say about it, really. And you know what's even weirder too? Is that there are only 2 warps in the entire game. And the Meteo warp is actually the harder to get of the 2 of them, so I'm glad that we already got it out of the way, because that means the rest of the alternate exits will be relatively easy in comparison. But yeah, there's no character dialogue either. It's really just a bunch of weird looking backgrounds with some enemies and some other junk to avoid. It's really bizarre. I guess one thing that the Meteo warp is actually good for is increasing your score, because at least in my opinion, if you go into the warp, it's a lot easier to rack up a higher score, since there's a ton of asteroids and enemies and there's really nothing else to worry about besides that. So it makes it easier to, boost your score if you want to do that. Plus, I guess you can also stock up on smart bombs too, which does help out, I'm not gonna lie, so that's kind of cool. But there we go, we made it through hyperspace, and we got the mission accomplished. So that is the harder exit for Meteo. And obviously your team members don't take any damage either, so I guess that's also a good benefit of going through the warp. But after you go through the warp, that is actually going to stick us on the medium path. And honestly, I think the medium path has some of my favorite levels, but of course, since we're going through them all, I'll talk about them once we actually get to those levels. For now, I think I'm going to end off the episode here, so if you enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.